Take a sip. A sip is. Alright. Who'd you go for in the video then?
Who'd you go for, you daddy dog? Get the dog up, yeah. Oh, Chrissy. Oh my god. My throat's so fucked. Yo.
Hello, friends.
Oh, episode 7, subject to change.
We
Welcome
are
back.
We are bloody back. Yeah, it's been a while since we did another recording because we've been kind of on it for the past couple of weeks. About 4 weeks in a row, actually.
Yeah, it's been a fucking long time.
It's been like, Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
So Timmy's birthday. Melbourne. Then Gold Coast.
Yeah, my throat's fucked.
It's
completely fucked. I do quite like it, though. I think I've got that, like, might start a sex line voice kind of thing. Do a sex line. You right, love, what the fuck are you wearing? I think I could do that. It's cool. I think it works. Saf lines. D-Saf lines. Yeah, you like it. It's a good idea. We'll talk like business after this, it's fine. Yeah, you right, love, what are you wearing? I think it works. What do you think? You got any feedback there?
Yeah, so anyway, we'll let Dan go on a little tangent there for about 30 seconds.
Do you know what I've been told since coming back from fucking Gold Coast?
What?
I sent my mate a Snapchat, or not a Snapchat, so like an Instagram video, and he was just like, you look fucking tired. And
you still look tired.
I know, you know when you've slept, he's like, you know when you've had like a lot of sleep and someone still tells you look tired? It's like you rock up to work and someone's like, mate, you look tired. You're like, oh, I actually slept 10 hours last night.
You need to start exfoliating.
Mate.
And drinking more water.
Oh,
you look 50.
I know, like I feel it. I feel really fucking old. Like I looked in the mirror, I was in the gym, and I looked there, and I was like working out, and I just looked at myself, and it's like time froze, and I was staring at the bags under my eyes, and I was like, I don't look good. I look so fucking tired. Oh, it's sad when you see it yourself.
Oh my
and you're
goodness,
like,
I don't look good.
Wank.
It's like last one time I'd just woken up. I got up quite early because I was feeling fresh, and I'd sent like our friend Jack Hickey like a video of me just like running around my room, and he just replied to me. He's like, mate, Jack's a good looking dude as well, and he was just like, mate, I just woke up and looked in the mirror and just like, you're so ugly. It's one of those mornings when you wake up and you just like, I actually look horrid. I shouldn't be stepping out in the public.
He says to me, because he tries to go to the gym hungover. So I don't know if anyone has any mates like this. Well, he's like, mate, I'm going to go to the gym hungover. And it's never a good idea to go hungover because I'm never going to have a good workout. I'll feel like shit. So he's like, no, I'm going to go to the gym. And he calls me after he's been to the gym. I'm like, how did it go? He's like, I went to the gym. I lifted the weights. I looked in the mirror and just thought, Jack, you're a fucking piece of shit. I put the weights down and just left. That's so...
Oh. Yeah, I'm never one for going to the gym like when I'm proper hungover. It's just...
It's a waste of time.
Yeah, it's a bit shit when you go and have a really shit workout and then you leave and you don't feel any better.
It's going to be... I'd rather like go for a walk, have a swim, have a dip. Because I'm going to have a shit workout. I'm not going to do what I need to do. I'd rather rest, go the next day hard and have a really good session. Because it's wank. And I'm scared that I'd hurt myself as well, which I've done before.
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
And you made it known to the world.
Yeah, I was in a wheelchair at one point. Yeah, which was really bad.
He actually was in a wheelchair, but he didn't really need it at all.
I had a back spasm, and I was in the gym, and I was doing like bent over rows, like reverse flies, and I was a bit tired, and I went to do it, and something twinged, and suddenly I got this huge spasm down my back. I couldn't move, and Jack was with me, and I had to walk me to the doctors. They gave me loads of Valium, and I had to be in a wheelchair. I had to be wheelchair through Westfield because I kept collapsing. My whole back. I'd have to walk like bent over to the side, and even then, my whole body would just collapse. It was so weird. You don't realise in those moments how much your core like looks after your body. Like even like when you like take a step, that moment your foot's in the air, your whole body's bracing, and you don't realise that until you have that pain. You're like, fuck, my core does everything for me. It's terrifying.
That's the thing, though. You don't really realise how all the muscles work together until one is almost like unable to do its job. Like as you said, taking a step and you're almost collapsing because like your stomach tends to like hold the rest of your body up. Yeah, body's an amazing thing, and we take it for granted. It
makes you grateful, for the time. Whenever you're ill, you're so grateful for the times you're like
used to be able to breathe.
Do you remember when I was better and like I didn't look like a piece of shit and I didn't look tired? I wish I remember what that was like.
Oh, that was a bit of a tangent to start off the pod.
Oh God.
But yeah, today we're gonna touch on a little bit of our Gold Coast experience mainly, and then a bit of Melbs. Me and Dan were both on both trips. The plan was actually to record podcasts in both places, but that failed miserably. Due to
being really fucking hungover, basically. Feeling
pretty much
fucking awful.
Pretty much. That plan did not work out very well because we kept going out and obviously feeling like horrible people the next morning.
Melbourne's a class city, man.
Oh, that's great.
Melbourne is a class city.
Yeah. I don't know if I could live there though.
Nah, it's like,
I don't know.
They say it's like the place with four seasons in a day or something. That's what they call it.
That's like back home in Northern Ireland. And
it's cool.
I didn't move here for that.
Well, in Chapel Street, they've got we didn't go to one when we were there, but they've got these cool bars where you push a bookcase and it opens up and then you go down.
Little speakeasies.
Yeah, mate, Melbourne's sick for bars. Their food and bar culture is incredible. It is so incredible.
And their coffee.
Their coffee is, to be honest, all of Australia has amazing coffee. All of Australia. But in terms
I'm not that much of a coffee snob to actually be able to tell the massive difference, but I can tell when a coffee isn't good. But moving to a city and talking about the coffee wouldn't be something that I would rave about.
My mate Dan really likes 7-Eleven coffee. It's fucking disgusting.
I haven't had that since I moved here my first year because it was $1. It's like 50p for anyone listening back home for a cup of coffee. It's not great, but it does the job if you're broke.
If you've got a full-time job, you're drinking 7-Eleven coffee. Sort your life out.
If anyone feels offended by Dan's language, please send us an email.
Email leewitty29 at hotmail.com.
He's our HR director, and he will deal with all the complaints.
That's leewitty29 at hotmail.com.
Oh,
that's exactly.
That's actually his email. Or that's his Instagram handle, so either or, get onto that and have a chat with him. He'll be happy to sort you out.
I really hope someone emails him. Please, someone email him. Just someone, anyone, complain.
We don't care what it is.
Yeah, just complain.
I might just send him myself.
But HR complain. Oh, that's fucking brilliant.
But yeah, we were in Melbourne, and I obviously got there a day before you. And I remember when you landed, I was just you know what I miss? Just going to an airport on your own. And that time, just being on your own in a restaurant or a cafe, having some food, getting on the flight on your own, getting to a different city on your own, and just spending a little bit of alone time with yourself. Because when you think about it, when you're living a normal 9-to-5 life, how often are you ever just on your own but doing nothing? It's when you wake up, you're okay, I need to go for a walk, and then I'm back, and then you're at your desk. If you're working from home, you're working from home. But then when you finish, all your housemates are back home. And it's just you don't actually get that alone time until you're about to go to bed, really.
It's really when I go to the airport, I feel like it's a mini adventure.
It is an adventure.
It's so cool. I go, check in, I got time to do what I want, go get a coffee, get some food, just do me.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry.
Lovely.
Yeah, I'm still a bit. I'm a bit ill. I'm a bit ill at the moment. I remember when I first went backpacking, just being in the airport. It's just such a cool experience, especially when you do a stop. I don't know. It's it's weird. It's so independent, but it's we all do independent shit at the moment as it is. But it's just there's something different about being in an airport. I can't quite explain it, but it's just such a different feeling than doing something else.
Because I think when you get into an airport, especially when you're on your own, it's you're going. Yeah. To experience something new and different to what you're currently living, obviously. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you're in an airport, you're either going on holiday, could be going on a business trip to another city, could be anything like that. But I think it's the fact that you're about to experience something new for the first time. You're going to do something exciting for the first time. Can you chill, sir? I'm talking to Oakley, not Dan, by the way.
He just grabbed me by the armpits. Well, you fucking relax, mate.
We went to Melbourne, stayed Chapel Street.
Yeah, Chapel Street. There's nothing in the city apparently. There's not much. I lived there a couple of years ago, but I used to work in the city. But it's very just there's not really much. I don't think it's like Sydney. There's not really much going on. We went out.
Ooh, anyone from Melbourne's gonna be fuming at that.
Oh look, if I'm wrong, fucking feel free. I'll be coming back there at some point.
For sure, the nightlife is definitely
wicked.
Definitely better. Chapel Street was going off.
But even in Sydney, when would you go into the city quite often to party.
Yeah, but Sydney in general, just for partying, just really shit.
Yeah.
So I would never venture. But in Melbourne, there's loads of like really good nightclubs. Just from like what I've seen in TikToks, places going off.
What was the place we went to when we first?
With loads of black people.
I was so anxious when I went there.
Dan was just like, stand beside me. Do not move. Do not move.
I was like, have you got my phone? Where's my phone? I tried in my other pocket, don't worry. Where's my jewellery?
I actually can't remember the name of that nightclub we went to.
Pawn & Co.
What is it?
Pawn & Co.
Pawn or Pawn?
P-A-W-N.
Pawn & Co.
Pawn & Co, yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
That was sick. That was a class night.
It was
Cool
decent.
bar, cool atmosphere, cool people. It's just cool. It's just a really cool atmosphere. Yeah, I would love to go. I would definitely go back. And yeah, I would definitely
I
go
feel
back.
like so not, because I feel like when you go to away to cities, like how many days were they there? You landed on Thursday night,
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you were there for like three days.
Yeah.
And then I was there from the Wednesday, so I was there for like 4. But it's just, I feel like when you go to a city, like you need more time because there's like so many things to do, and unless you get up like really early and like seize the day,
When
and
you're hungover, it's quite hard.
Yeah, like seize the day and like actively go and do stuff.
Yeah.
Like you don't actually get to. I feel like that in Gold Coast as well.
Yeah.
Like there's so much we could have done, but us being hungover and not getting up and at it straight away, like you just miss out on so much. Didn't get to go to like the Burley Heads, that beach. Isn't it a beach where people surf? The really famous one.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes outside of surfers. Oh, sorry, this is about Gold Coast. Yeah, it was like 25 minutes outside surfers. Didn't even get to go there. And it's also harder when there's 10 lads.
Oh, going away with a big group of lads. I think when you go on holiday with like one other person, I thought this is quite chill. We'll do what we want. It's because there's less opinions. Less opinions, people talking about what they want to do. And I was like, to be honest, when we did, like, it was fine. But going away with a big group, it's always going to be fucking a lot more opinions going around. But, nah. Like, the Easter weekend, that was class. That was...
Yeah, the only annoying bit was the Friday when literally everything was just closed.
Yeah,
it was
so...
like Good Friday or whatever.
So up on the Friday, because it's Good Friday, apparently I didn't even know this, but it's not all about drinking, it's more about eating and stuff like that. So every place we went to, I don't know if this was just in Queensland.
It was just in Queensland.
It was, yeah. Every place we went to, you had to buy a meal, but you could only drink there for 2 hours. So you had to go to another place.
We bought 2 mains on that night on Friday. We had 2 meals on Friday night just so we could drink. But apparently that's not usually the case. It's only happened because of COVID.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I asked. Yeah. They were just it's not usually like this, but because of COVID and then the recent like outbreaks, they just changed the rules slightly to like manage the traffic flow going in and out of bars. Yeah. Still got somewhat intoxicated, to be fair.
Yeah, Gold Coast was really, really good. For anyone who hasn't been, Surfers Paradise is, you're right, Jackie boy. One of our mates has just walked in.
Hello, sir.
Do you want to piss off for a bit so we can carry on? There
we
go, mate. Cheers, lads. You did get a mention, mate, don't worry.
Yeah, you got to mention at the start.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. Now piss off. Shall I say something? Go away.
Leave.
Will you leave? Shall I say something? Go away. This is such a wanker. What was I saying? I went on a fucking... Just got...
You're talking about Gold Coast.
Yeah, for anyone that hasn't been, sorry. Surfers Paradise is really cool. It's a cool place. Go away. You want to go away with your mates. Get trashed. Enjoy some cool weather. Nice beaches. Obviously, the weather wasn't that great when we went. But
I wouldn't
cool
say there's a coupley place to go to.
No. It's so weird because, I don't know. When I was in a relationship, the stuff I did on holidays was so different. And I don't just mean like, chatting to birds and stuff like that, but like in general, when I go away in a relationship, it's not all like every night, let's get battered.
No.
It's like, let's find a really cool restaurant, really cool food, go to a really cool bar. That's a really, I haven't had that cocktail before. That's a really, this kind of food is really interesting. It's so different when you're like single because it's like, you just want to get trashed.
That's the thing. I don't think I've ever been in a relationship where we've just both said, right, let's just me and you go out and just get smashed.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, you obviously go out for dinner and you have a few drinks and you get a bit tipsy, but we've never been like, nah, let's just go out and get absolutely trashed and just like...
Yeah, it's weird.
I wonder how the dynamic of that... I think that'd be proper fun though. Yeah. Imagine like being in a relationship and you're both like on the same level in terms of like getting on it, so you're like, right, let's just go out. Like we'll just we'll just pre-drink here for like
Yeah.
30, 40 minutes, and then we'll just like go out to a bar and just see what happens, and then you just end up rolling home at like 4 a.m.
When I tried to do that in my last relationship,
hung over in like for 3 days.
when I tried to do that in my last relationship, I always felt, because if I got too pissed, or let's say she got too pissed, I feel like I'd need to like look after her. So I'd be a bit cautious about getting too pissed. So it's like, I feel like one of us, even though we're both getting wrecked,
One has
would
to
need
keep
to
a
be
bit of
like the kind of designated driver a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I
we're
wouldn't
like,
do that. I'd just get smashed, and just hopefully we'll just both make it home together.
I'd also apparently got bollocked for being a wanker when I got too drunk as well.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, no, it does sound about right. I would just get bollocked for just being a twat. So
Sounds like someone we know.
yeah.
Luke. Sorry,
Thanks.
Mute Lales.
Yeah, Mute Lales, one of our mates when we were away, he is notorious. I'm sure everyone has a mate like this, or everyone has, you know, an acquaintance like this. We call him an acquaintance now. He is.
He's lost the mate status.
Yeah, he's lost a mate. No, he's a friend.
Jokes. He still
And,
lives with me, sadly.
Yeah.
Jokes.
Kidding, not kidding. And no, when he gets drunk, he's notorious for just going glazed in the face,
Oh,
and everyone
glazed.
knows. And he just has no perception of what he's saying, and he'll come
And how
up.
to de-escalate a situation, because
Oh.
he can't comprehend what he's going through at the time, so he just ends up just doing stupid, annoying things.
And because we're all friends, when he does it, we're all like, you know, mate, chill
Give him a
out, don't
bye,
worry.
yeah.
Yeah, like we're not going to fucking do anything. But one of our mates, Nick, who I'm friends with, and one of our mates is friends with, he was in Surfers Paradise, and he hasn't met him before. And so they were out and about, and Luke was giving it the Billy Pig bollocks,
Billy Pig
and
bollocks,
he got drunk, and I went off to a Thai place. You were there anyway. You'd be able to go into this, because I only got a call about this.
Yeah,
and I
it
was like,
actually right.
"What?"
It was like pretty much right beside the Thai place as well, where you having food. In
I
that
was like,
Thai
sorry,
place.
will you stop?
Yeah, so I was. We'd been drinking quite a bit, to be fair, and Luke probably had to down quite a few pints and whatever, but that's not even excusing his behaviour. So he got very drunk and he was very rude to someone, and this guy who doesn't really know Luke was just like, "Oh, that's not on." So this guy goes up to Luke and tells him, "Calm down." And Luke's obviously smashed. He just can't comprehend what he's done or said. So then Luke's just like, obviously like going back on this guy Nick, and Nick's like, calm down. Luke's like, what the hell are you talking about? What are you doing? I've done nothing. And this guy's like, mate, calm down. So grabs Luke by the scruff of his shirt, pushes him against the wall, and tells him, like, mate, actually calm down. And Luke's like, get the fuck off me. I haven't done nothing. And I'm just like watching this because I find it very funny. I was sort of completely enjoying it. I was never going to like break it up because I didn't think it was going to escalate. And then our mate Jamie, who's a little bit bigger
He's
than the rest of us.
He's probably got the strength of both of them put together.
Yeah. Jamie's like 6'3", about 112 kilograms, rugby lad. He's like, right, enough is enough. Grabs Luke and Nick splits him apart. throws Nick on the floor like he's just a piece of wet fish. And then pushes Luke away. Luke's realised that his chain's broke, so he's like very upset about his chain. I was like, mate, calm down. I was like, you probably deserved it. And I pretty much told Luke, I honestly think you're smashed. You're not going to get into any bar after this. Walked up to the first bar. We're all walking in, and the bouncer just looks at Luke and is like,
nah, you're not getting in.
yeah, go home, mate. You're not getting in.
Oh, mate, we all have. Oh God, I have mates like that back home where like some people just they can't handle the booze.
I'm trying to think if I have any mates like that back home, but I don't think I do. No.
Thing is, right, people like he was being not that he was being antagonised, but we have this drinking game. So if we're out and about and you like are drinking your drink, if you finished it, you have to tap someone's shoulder or tap someone anywhere on them before you put it down. If you put it down and you let go of the glass, you have to down your next drink. So I was saying, let's like not include him in this game. It's probably going to be better for him. And everyone's like, no, he's still playing it.
Never.
And I was like, well, that's definitely not going to help the situation. So, there's probably things we could do to help the situation. But,
not at all.
Lads being fucking wankers and just, let's, boys,
Yeah.
peace.
I love it.
And, the shit just happens. But that was one of many highlights of the holiday, some of which we cannot speak about.
Yeah, Yes, that's Darwin and Gold Coast of situations that have happened with Dan, actually, that we cannot speak about.
Yeah, there's one big thing, a big one.
I'm hoping...
we'll maybe bring it up eventually. I think a few episodes down the line.
I'm hoping if we are still doing this podcast in maybe like a couple of years and shit, we'll be like, we can bring it up now.
Oh,
it's too far gone.
At that point, when we're millionaires and we've made it, we've got all the sponsors in, I'll be like, it doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
living in our penthouse suite in Bondi.
Yeah, that's how I'll bring this individual on.
Yeah. Get her a jumbo jet. Not her a jumbo jet, just get a jumbo jet. But that was those 2 trips were pretty good. Spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I've decided to take a hiatus from going out for a while. I think it's best for my body physically and physiologically.
I think,
and my head mentally.
I think sometimes it's hard, it's weird. When you have a lot of friends who do the same, when you have a lot of friends who like going out, who like socialising, who like drinking, it's really hard to say no. It's hard to like seclude yourself from social situations.
Especially living in the suburb.
Yeah, I get bad FOMO, like huge FOMO. If
you didn't
people
get
are
one for Jamie's birthday though, on his boat party?
Yeah, so one of our mates, I didn't go on his boat party because it pissed down raining. Yes, I'm a snowflake, and yes, I'm made of salt.
Good man.
Jamie, I'm sorry. I should have come. But I get really bad FOMO. Really, really bad FOMO. If I know people are out, I just like, it's like my arm just gets twisted. I'm like, I'll have one.
I don't anymore. Unless I want to go out, I'll not go out. Like I'll get FOMO, but I'll not act on it.
Yeah.
Like I won't like jump at it. Not actually thinking about the Gold Coast. Like all the lads we went with, like we have a good bunch of lad friends.
Yeah. Good group.
Yeah, I don't dislike any of them.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Like, it's a really good group. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a massive, like, this is like a bit of a tangent. I had a moment the other day, like 2 days ago. You know, like a moment where you're like, what am I doing? Like, where am I in life? One of my best mates has just got engaged. And big man, congrats Daniel, Lever and Helen.
Woo!
And soon to be Miss Lever.
Yes.
And I remember when he told me...
ad-libs there.
Yeah. So I remember when he told me he was getting engaged, we were at Ravisi's, and he was like, mate, I'm getting engaged. And I'm sure everyone now knows someone around our age. Some of your mates getting engaged. Anyway, he told me at Ravisi's. And I was like, what? I was like, mate, what are you doing? Don't do this. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. We have to be single together forever. And, I calmed down and I was like, nah, look, huge congratulations. And, look, statistically, you'll probably get divorced, but, we'll give this a good crack. We'll give this a really good crack. And he's like, yeah, cheers, man. I appreciate the support. Anyway, I went to his house yesterday and I'm with them both and, they're talking. And I've known them both I've known him for like 10 years, her for like 8 years. Talking about marriage. She's got the wedding planner. She's already got the book and she's writing stuff in it. I know, it makes me fucking sick.
Like hard one?
No, she's got like a book and they're just writing stuff in.
Okay. I don't know how those things work.
And they're talking about getting married and stuff like this, and I'm just like, that's the first one out of all my friends who are like, who've got engaged. It's the first one. And it was that moment I'm like,
mate, you're lucky.
It's unsettling. It's unsettling a little bit.
Mate, half my friends back home are either engaged, married, or have got kids.
That's crazy.
Literally, all the ones that I would say within my year, like 2 of my best friends. Yeah, like in my year, they're both married. One's above me, a couple of them married. Then I had a few friends who are about 3 or 4 years above me. They're all married. One's got a kid. Another one's got a kid. Yeah, and 2 of them are married with a dog and with a mortgage and shit. It's weird.
It's hard not to not to compare yourself. It's hard. No, sorry, not to compare yourself.
No, I don't compare.
It's hard not to look at other people. And especially when people and be like, oh, should I be getting married? Should I be engaged? What am I doing? It's hard, but then you forget about it, and the lads are heading down to Ravisi's or Salties, and you're like, yeah, let's get on the sesh again.
I've just come to realize that people have their own paths.
Move at their own pace.
People move at their own pace. People have their own paths they need to walk. We've just chosen. I think one thing that we've all been fooled into thinking when we're growing up, especially within our generation, the generation before, the generation before that, it's like your life has like stages, and at that stage you need to be doing this. Like you go to school, you finish it, you go to a university, you either have a girlfriend from high school, you find a girlfriend. in university. You do that. You get a job. You've been with this girl for 3 or 4 years. You propose to her. You do your engagement period for a year. You get married. You have kids, and then that's you just for your life.
Yeah.
Whereas now I think people are starting to realize that we're all on our own paths, on our own way of living, and that the orthodox way in which we've all thought was the way that you should live life is completely not the way to do shit. You know, it's not at the end of the day, what is the end goal in life? We're all gonna die. So why is everyone rushing to get to certain points? It's like when you think about it, when you're in like primary school, like, oh, I can't wait to get to high school.
Can't wait to be an adult.
Or when you're in high school, you're like, oh, I can't wait to get university and like be on my own. You get to university, like, oh, I can't wait to graduate and like make some money. It's just like everyone seems to like always be rushing to get to that next stage of life where they feel like it's gonna be better.
Yeah.
But why don't we all just chill and just be in the moment that we're in? Why are we trying to rush through life when at the end of the day we're all going to be dropping dead and being buried or cremated?
Death and taxes, mate, the only two certainties in life. I remember the biggest stress I had, like, I wish I was back in school now. The biggest stress I had in school was telling a crush that I liked her. That was it. That was one of my biggest stresses as a kid
like
in school.
People used to stress so much about exams and school and
just like GCSEs. Did you have GCSEs in Ireland? Same thing, yeah.
Social demographics. I'm just like, school's the easiest time.
Mate.
My goodness, the things you think you need to worry about in school. Like now you're just like, I'm just like, as if I used to stress.
Do you know what I mean?
Now I've got bills.
I got bills. I thought if I failed my GCSEs, my life was over.
That's the way they portrayed it though.
Yeah, and if I don't go to uni, and I did go to uni, but I went to uni to do a fucking bollocks degree anyway. And I thought, you've got to go to uni. And I studied like film and television studies. And, I thought I've got to go to uni. I only went to uni because I wanted a session for 3 years and I wasn't ready to get a job. And I was so immature. Yeah. And I thought that was what I had to do.
Was your school like a grammar school? So like,
what do you mean?
So Northern Ireland, we have like grammar schools. So they're where the smarter kids go. And that's like, they almost like... They almost groom you to like go to university, and that's the only thing they kind of like.
I think all schools kind of do that, don't they? They're all like, so what uni are you applying for? Everyone applies for uni. They all like. I think that's like I think that's the thing.
Now there's certain schools in Northern Ireland that are more pushed towards like people getting trades and stuff.
No, we didn't have that.
Yeah.
No, we didn't have that.
It was just all like university A-levels,
teachers help you figure out what unis you want to apply for and stuff like that.
Personal statements and all that.
Yeah, it was so funny.
I had to write a quote. Your greatest fear is not that you're inadequate. Your greatest fear is that you're powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. Dead. Dead. Great movie though from Coach Carter.
Don't look back because you're not going that way. I love these cheesy quotes that people come out with. Do you know what I did hear one recently?
A car is supposed to drive.
It's not, the glass isn't half empty. It's not half full. It's refillable. I quite like that, to be honest. I do quite like that. That's quite a nice one. I quite like that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Do you know you don't like that?
No.
Fuck, I shouldn't have got that tattoo.
So what are you going to say there about your school?
Just about like... like the biggest stresses, you thought you had, it's like nothing compares. And then I was talking about uni and it was just like such simpler times. I remember when I left uni, I got student loan when I was in uni, all this free money.
Should probably start paying that back.
That was a good one. Sorry, they will never find me. They will never find me.
Do not tell them where I am.
I was thinking for a sec, I was like, can I say anything on this? Will they find me? Will they know where I am?
It's like, what if Dan started a podcast? Let's look him up.
Oh my God. I'm not saying my address. There are so many people who would be listening to this who have not paid any fucking student finance back. I know it. I know it because so many people I speak to from England or whatever, they have not paid any student finance.
I know quite a few that haven't started paying theirs back.
I've lived here now for like
4 years.
No.
I don't plan on any time soon.
I watched Shrek in one of my lectures. Fuck off, I'm not paying you money.
Why are you watching Shrek?
I was doing film and television studies and we like studied from like old school like black and white films and like through the years and then went up to like contemporary Hollywood films. And one of the films was Shrek. But I was sitting in uni and like it was on Mondays we'd watch the film and I was sitting there and I was sitting there, I was watching a film and it was at that point I was watching Shrek and I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing in this course? This is a load of bollocks.
Did you actually even want to do that, or did you just?
I wanted to do a business degree, but my teacher at the time was like, "Don't just do a business degree because that's what you think you should do." Loads of people do it and they hate it. Do something you're interested in.
I mean, that's.
I would
fair.
have quite liked to do a business, but to be honest, I work in sales. You just really need to be able to talk, so you don't need a business degree would be quite cool, but yeah, I think people do degrees sometimes with what they think they should do.
I think the only good thing about certain degrees is that it shows employers that you kind of know what you're talking about because you've been taught by a professional, quote unquote.
Yeah.
You know what you're talking about, quote unquote, because it's just like you've gone somewhere and got an academic professional to tell you how to do this stuff. It's a little bit more...
Which means nothing. It really does mean nothing.
Yeah, but it holds a bit more weight than, I don't know, someone who's just taught themselves or self-taught themselves, like, nah, well, we don't know how much you've self-taught. Whereas if we see a university certificate for, I don't know, any sort of university in Northumbria, Newcastle, or Queen's University in Belfast, like, at least we know, like, you've been taught this academically.
I think in today's day and age, it doesn't mean the same thing. I don't think it means the same thing.
It depends on the area I think you're working in, for sure.
Anyone can go to uni.
Having the degree that I had helped me get sponsored as well. Because if I hadn't, then I would have needed to have had way more years experience to actually get the sponsorship. Yeah, because with the degree, you only need 2 years post grad of industry experience to be eligible. Where I think if you don't have a degree, then I think it's like 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
I think one of my friends, Jess, she's like a project manager and she didn't go to uni, but she had so much experience back home in Manchester, and then she was able to get sponsored.
Oh, fair.
But she had she's really good at her job, and
fair.
she's so many years, so she was able to luckily to get it. But yeah, the university thing just helps slightly.
Have you got some water in your thing you can pour into this?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait to realise. Going back to that fucking marriage stuff, I can't wait to realise, looking at them talking about marriage and stuff like that, I can't wait to get a few years down the line and realise I've got some commitment issues. I cannot wait for this to happen.
You already do.
I don't.
You already do.
I do not have it. I'm at a stage now where I don't have any commitment issues because I'm not in a stage of commitment. But
why do you think you're gonna have commitment issues?
I just have a feeling.
Why? Well, that's because
I've been too very long.
That's already a bad way to start about it.
Well, look, no, I just means I'm self-aware. I'm
still self-aware.
Yeah, no, I looked that up on the way around here.
What does self-aware mean?
I've been in 2 very long-term relationships, and this is I think looking back, people who get into this is obviously this is an opinion that's correct. Where anyone who gets in a relationship. 17, 18, 19, do not get in a relationship. That's my opinion. I don't think you're mature enough, old enough, no life experience. You should not be getting into a relationship. It should be forbidden, not allowed. You need to grow yourself, understand yourself, know who you are before you can commit to anyone.
Yeah.
Because you don't know your own likes, your dislikes, your hobbies, your interests, what you like and what you like in yourself, what you hate in it. Looking back now, I wish I could kind of take that back. So and I usually say I have no regrets, and I don't. But that first relationship when I was 17, 18, I didn't really know myself then, which has probably led me to now being I feel like I'm going to have some issues moving forward.
But don't you think getting into relationships at that age can somewhat also help you mature a little bit more, though?
No.
Being able to understand the dynamics of a relationship, what you like and dislike.
No.
From early?
Not really, because for me personally, I spent a lot of time molding myself around someone else, and they spend their time molding themselves around me. You spend your time trying to fit each other's puzzle, where it's you don't even know you don't know yourself, and yet you're trying to give something of yourself to someone else. I just think look, there are some when you hear it's like that saying, obviously when you hear hooves, think horses, not zebras. There are the percentage of people they fall in love at 17, 18. Amazing. If it works, it works. If you're happy, you're happy. Awesome. Respect it, love it. But there are some people who sit with it and aren't happy, but just sit through the relationship anyway. And those kind of people, it's you should not have been getting to a relationship that early on in life. I think so many of us, and it goes back to this, I don't think we did speak about it, but I watched this this program, this Daniel Sloss. It's amazing.
You
Anyone who hasn't
literally
watched it,
won't stop talking about
it is
this guy.
incredible. Daniel Sloss live
He's
shows.
trying to break up your relationships. Do not go and listen to it. but
Episode
also
2,
do.
if you're confident in your relationship, watch it. If you're still together, fair enough. Episode 2, Jigsaw. Watch it with your partner and tell me how you feel. I'll be very intrigued. And he essentially talks about relationships and stuff like that. I feel at a very young age, one of the things he talks about is you grow up, and he talks about having these 4 puzzle pieces, okay? So I'll start that again. He goes to his dad, and he says to his dad, what's the meaning of life? And he's like, okay, let me explain this to you. Imagine you've got this puzzle, and each corner is a part of your life. Family in one corner, friends in the other, hobbies in one corner, and interests in another corner. And no one has the box, no one has the cover, no one knows where the puzzle piece goes. And we're all just trying our time to like put these pieces together. When you do a puzzle, you start at the corner and you work your way in. And everyone in life is trying to put those pieces together. They change. You lose a family member, you gain more friends, another family member comes in. You get a job, you have to give up certain interests for that job, for their hobbies, because you have to move somewhere for that job, and it all changes over time. He's like, cool, and what's the centerpiece, Dad? And he's like, well, that's the partner piece. And he's like, he realizes that his dad maybe got that wrong, because he spent the next X amount of years getting to 18, and because he thought the centerpiece was a partner piece, getting to 18, 19, and he doesn't have a relationship, essentially his whole life he'd been taught, if you don't have a partner, you're not complete. If you don't have a partner, you're broken. And if you don't have a partner, you have a hole in your life. So what happens is you have someone come along when you've just been looking to someone to fill that void, and you find someone, you smash them into that puzzle piece. And you spend the next 4 or 5 years with that person, not realizing that that person isn't a puzzle piece. That person isn't a puzzle piece. That person is their own puzzle. And they've been building their own puzzle for the last 18, 19 years. They're not just going to be able to fit into your piece. They're not going to magically come along and you're going to be able to just smash them in. And you squeeze them in, you push them in, you get rid of things for them, you try to build your own. And it's just so many times you realize it just doesn't work for that reason, because sometimes you're just too young and you just need to just build a bit more of your own before you bring someone into it. So that's why I think being really young, getting to a relationship, you should be very cautious and spend more time on yourself. Now, I did not do that analogy justice. Enough is what the program did. But watch it. It's incredible. I'll try and rehash that another time. I'll watch it again.
So that was Dan's TED Talk.
Welcome to my TED Talk.
Thanks for listening, guys. That's the end of the episode. Right, so I was gonna ask you this question. So if you were to tell your younger self one thing, what would you tell them about? What would it be about dating?
Do not get into a relationship that young. Don't do it.
Well, there you go.
Don't do it. You think that you're loved up, and people might think I sound cynical. I'm not. I don't think I'm cynical. I love love. I think it's an incredible thing when you love someone, you bond with someone. I think it's amazing, and it is. But being that young, you don't know what love is. You've got puppy love. You've got lust.
Disclaimer, he's basing this off his own experiences.
Of course. I can't base it off anything else apart from my own experience.
I know a lot of people who have met from teenage years and are married and are still together. So
yeah, zebras, not horses, though. Do you know what I mean? You've got those percentages where it works. One of my mum's friends, they got together when they were 18 and they were still together. They're almost, the husband's passed away, the woman's on her way out, and she's 80.
Yeah.
That's rare. That's rare. You're not going to get that with everyone. That's also older generations as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they get into a relationship and they just spend the rest of their life with someone just for the sake of it. Doesn't mean they're happy either. It just means they're not willing to walk away from a situation because the amount of time they've invested in it, which again isn't the right thing to do. Don't base your intentions on how much time you've spent with someone. Base it on what is it giving you now. Are you happy now? Because if you join the relationship now, and it was like this, would you still be with that person? If the answer is no, look at the relationship you're in. Potentially you need to walk away. It's like people who are I've been in this job for 4 years. I don't want to walk away. Why? You hate it. It's not serving you. Why are you still in it? But I've given 4 years already. But that's gone now. That time is not
100%.
coming back. Same with your relationship. It's not like money in a bank you're saving up. This is your life. It's the time you've given. The time you've given already is gone. Do not base your future years on that, because you will look back in resentment. And I did not do that at all. I was, had really good... the relationships served an incredible purpose. It was just being a really young person, 17, 18. I just think that would be one thing I would tell my younger self.
Yeah. I do think people need to... At the end of the day, you need to look after number one.
Mm.
And as you said, if the relationship or anything isn't serving you,
Yeah.
you need to look at that from an outside standpoint and looking forward towards your future.
Mm.
In a job, in a relationship, yeah, you may have got on well with this person, you may love that person, but or the job, you may have loved it, but if it's not serving you, if it's not making you happy, if it's not serving you positively in terms of your mental health as well, you got to just step away, even as hard as you may think it might be, but it's going to be harder if you stay.
Sunk cost fallacy. It's basing the time you've spent it's making emotional decisions based on the time you've already spent on a situation, or basing what you've given to a situation already. So it's like, because you've been in something for so long does not mean you should give it more time.
Yeah, 100%. And it's
Look at the
it's
present.
easy to do that. You got to be completely in the present.
Yeah. What are you getting from it now?
Yeah.
Is it working? And people think, I'll give it another 4 or 5 years. That's not a great way to look at something. Would you do that with your job? Just look at your job like that. Would you give your job 4 or 5 years? Would you even another year? I'll give it another 12 months, another 2 years. Would you do that with your job if you hated it?
It also depends it depends what you're waiting on as well. Like, if it's a job and are you expecting a promotion? I'll give it another year, see if I get the promotion.
A year's a long fucking time to wait for a promotion. It's a long time of your life when you could potentially do something else.
Depends. It's all very subjective.
Yeah. Look, these are all opinions. Yeah. Obviously.
Depends on it all. I mean, yeah. As I said, it's very subjective. It depends on the person's situation. It depends on what they deem as most important to them. They could be unhappy, but at that certain point in their life, maybe staying in the relationship is what is best for them at that point until they figure out what to do. Because you can't really make a permanent decision based on temporary emotions. I always say.
I don't know. I think it is important. I think it is probably one of the most important things. I think, look at what it's given you. Is it serving you? Yes or no? If you join the relationship or the job now and it was like this and you felt like this, would you still remain in it? Probably not. The answer would probably be no.
But also, you're looking at it very much from a black and white standpoint when relationships aren't black and white, like at all. Like, if you've given time to someone and you're happy, and you've been happy for 4 years, and then there's a bit in that 4 years, or at the end of that
turmoil.
There's a bit at the end of that 4 years where I'm quite unhappy now, and I've been unhappy for like 2 or 3 months. You can't just say, I'm unhappy now. I've got 4 really good years, but I'm happy, like I'm done. That's not how relationships work. That's not how things you've committed time to work. You can't just because you're unhappy after 4 years, you can be like, nah, fuck that, I'm done. You need to assess why you're unhappy. You need to talk to your partner. You need to talk to your boss in your job. Explain to them that this is how I'm feeling. What are we going to do about it? And if after you've had the conversation, nothing changes, then yeah, leave. But sorry, I'm just taking a step.
I was like, what are you doing? I was like, you really antsy.
But yeah, after you've had that conversation and nothing changes, and you don't feel like what you need and what you want is being met or even try to be met, then you're like, right now, I'm done. 4 years are over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't
have the conversation. Yeah, obviously, it doesn't mean just.
But the way you were coming across, just it's like night and day. It's like chalk and cheese. Like yes or no. It's just like,
no,
you should have it's not serving you.
Talk.
Then you just nah, I'm done.
No, sorry. Okay, talk. Have that communication. Obviously, you're not going to go silent on your own. Have that communication. Assess it. But then when you've done that, make the decision. You're either going to decide, I'm going to spend this time unhappy because clearly it's not going to work, or I'm going to make the decision to walk away. Short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. And I think so many people just don't do it. And it's just it's hard. Look, at the end of the day, it's not an easy situation.
Yeah.
They're not easy. I'm not saying it is because I've been in those situations. But looking back now, I can see the benefit of just walking away, because the worst thing you could do is spend your life with someone who you are not going to be happy with long term. It's the worst thing you could do. I think I've gone on this has come from looking at something like like a wedding. So I started talking about a wedding, being so happy to, I'm fucking miserable.
Should we unpack that? Do you want to unpack it?
Oh, I don't want to talk about it. Nah. But yeah, this came from obviously looking at, where people are in their lives and, thinking about myself and stuff like that. And it's nice to see people happy.
I think,
it's really cool.
I think the key is to just, in that situation, is to just really know what you want and need. And I think I've been thinking about this recently, it's like we need to normalize people just being honest about what they need and want. Like, we need to make it not an issue, especially when you're like going into like a new relationship. Could be friendship, work, like sexual relationship with a female or male.
Yeah.
Like, you need to normalize telling them what annoys you, tell them the things that you want and need. Because if you don't do it from the start, when you're not that comfortable, when you finally do get comfortable in a few months, 5 months, 6 months, and you start saying, oh, that's kind of annoying, they'll be like, well, you never said that before. And then it kind of feels like an attack because you've never spoken your mind for 6 months, a year. And when that should have been done from the start, if they do something that's bloody annoying, you're just like, oh, that's... Can you not?
Do you know this is an issue? Right, this is actually a
not?
great point. People, when you first start dating someone, or like on a first date, they go above and beyond. Not like in a good... I'm not saying like you should...
Put on this facade.
Put on this facade, right? And it's just like... It's not sustainable.
It's not.
Be your fucking
You're
self.
gonna get tired.
Because if someone does not love you for you, then fuck off. They're not going to love you anyway. Just be your fucking self and just don't care.
Yeah.
Because if you have to change 1% of yourself for someone else, that will grow and grow and grow, and you will hate yourself. You will look at it and you will resent the person you've become.
It's like this saying that says, closed mouths don't get fed. Closed mouths don't get fed. So
I actually don't know what that meant. Can you give context? I just
you're like...
Wow.
No, so closed mouths don't get fed. Obviously, if your mouth is closed, you can't eat because obviously you use your mouth to get food. So it's like if you want something and you don't say it, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like if someone is not giving you something that you want or need, it's not going to happen. Being very open about what you want.
Yeah.
And then if they don't give you what you want or need, then you can reassess the situation because like, if I've told you like that annoys me and you're still doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
Oh, this communication's such a big fucking thing. But it's nice to see.
I'm all about communication.
It's nice to see people happy though. I do like it. One of Dan. He's one of my mates. He's disgustingly in love, and I've actually like gained such an appreciation for it. He is. When I do see him, he's just disgustingly in love, and I think I've gained an appreciation for it. Just seeing it is really nice, and neither of them care, neither of mine. Just around each other, it's just disgustingly in love. It is cool. It is cool. I do like it.
I mean, I guess what's happened when you're falling in love, wouldn't know, but
oh, she won't take me back. Oh.
Yeah, I should probably text her.
I should text her. I'm going to have to jump on a FaceTime. I will not. Oh, God. That was... I feel quite good from that. That was a nice... I just felt like I unloaded quite a nice bit there. Ooh.
Yeah, I feel like you had to get that off your chest.
Oh, I haven't got any issues. You've got issues. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm fully committed.
Yeah, you should go to therapy.
I'm going to need it at one point. I know. I feel it at one point. Do you know what? One of my mates once said to me, he's like, if you met the perfect woman, would you not like... If you met someone who was perfect, incredible, and the one, what would you do? I'm like, well, you can't base being the one... You can't base someone being the one off what they're like, because you have to be ready for that situation as well. Just because someone's the one doesn't mean they're the one for you.
Yeah. As you said, like, you got to have your...
Shit together.
Yeah, your shit together, your puzzle.
Yeah.
Your puzzle sorted.
That's it, mate. And for now, no one's fucking touching my puzzle. No, I'm joking.
No one wants your puzzle anyway.
No one wants my puzzle. No, I'm joking. I am joking.
Do you think you'll know when you're ready though, or do you think you'll just?
I'm still very fresh. I'm still very fresh.
Yeah, you were in like a long-term relationship.
Yeah, I was essentially, 8 years over 2 relationships. I've been single for like not even 9 months.
That's ridiculous.
That's not a long time. Do you know what I mean? That's not a long time.
I've been single as long. Yeah, I've been single as long as you've been in a relationship.
But you never know. If someone comes, you never know. Feelings can change. These can change. I say this on this episode. The next episode, I might be like, you know what? I've opened up a bit more. And
that's
stuff
the thing.
Like that.
I don't even think it's a gradual process to go from not wanting a relationship to wanting one. I think it's almost like boom. It's like you just wake up, you're like, oh, I actually would be open to one.
Yeah.
I think that's how it's been with me, like throughout my life and the very little relationships I've been in. I've only been like 3 proper relationships.
Yeah.
And it was never like a process for me being like, traveling or having a good time, or I'm going to uni having a good time.
Yeah.
I might want a girlfriend, I might not. It was just literally like, if I met someone now, I would be willing to do it.
I think at the moment, I'm more just cautious.
What are you cautious about?
I don't want to just walk into something now for the sake of it.
Run.
I'm a lot more... I'm going to vomit.
Just run into it.
Just run.
Head first.
Just dive.
Yeah.
Just jump in your fly.
Yeah. Just jumping head first.
Oh, yeah. I think that's it. I think I'm like now being like 28, heading to 29 in a couple of months. I'm not just going to, it's not to be like, let's just give it a go. I want to be like, is this a fuck yes? If it's not a fuck yes, it's a no.
Yeah, it's not a, I'm not a give it a go person. I'm either all in or I'm not.
Yeah.
And the female will know it.
Yeah, she probably does.
Yeah, you're funny. You're funny. Right, on that note, I think we kind of like covered a plethora of things in this.
Oh, I like that
You
word.
went in your filthy tangent about
Plethora.
your mate Dan Sloth or whatever.
Yeah.
Talked
Daniel
about
Sloss, episode 2, Jigsaw. Please watch it. If there's one thing, please watch it. It is an incredible episode.
To be fair, it is quite good.
I watched it twice.
It's like, he's a comedian as well. So initially starts off just talking about funny things, and next minute it just transitions into like this whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely get on it. And thank you very much, everyone, for listening to this episode.
Thank you.
Hope you learned something. Hope you laughed. Hope you cried.
Yeah.
And yeah, we will see you very, very soon.